Okay, for 49, they want us to write an equation, one or two equations, right? And then solve. So for you, you need to write let statements. It's hard for me to write on the iPad, but you would need let statements, so I'll say those. So let's do A. And I'm going to write the equations, and I assume the hardest part is writing the equation. Solving it, you should be able to do. If you're still unable to solve after watching the video, then we can do that in class. But I'm going to set up all the equations. So for A, the Lees have 3 children. The oldest is twice as old as the youngest. The middle child is 5 years older than the youngest. If the sum of the ages is 57, how old is each? So I'm going to say, again, I'm going to abbreviate. Let Y be youngest child, right? Youngest. Okay. So this means that the oldest, so they have child 1, 2, and 3, right? And the third child's the youngest. The 1 is the oldest. So the oldest is twice the youngest. So that's 2Y. And then the middle is 5 years older than the youngest. So Y plus 5, right? So I'm just doing this as reference. So now it says, if the sum of the ages is 57, how old is each? So that means that 2Y plus 5 plus Y equals 57, right? And if we solve this, again, I'm not going to work through the solution, we get that Y is 13, right? So then if Y is 13, then Y plus 5 is 18, and 2Y is 26. So you would write, 18 years old, or 13 years old, 18 years old, and 26 years old. Okay, so that's A. Let's do B. For B, in the garden there's 105 ladybugs. They're increasing at 2 ladybugs per month. So that's, plus 2, not times 2. There are currently 175 aphids, and the number of aphids is decreasing at 3 aphids per month. So that's minus 3. So again, first we have ladybugs and then aphids. When will the number of ladybugs and aphids in Katie's garden be the same? Okay, so I would say let L, right? L is going to be ladybugs, number of ladybugs. And let, what's the other? Aphids. Let A be the number of aphids. And there's 105 ladybugs now, right? 105 ladybugs now, plus 2 per month. 2 per month. Oh, actually, we might not need L and A. Okay, so M is number of months. Okay. Let's see. And there are currently 175. We want to know when these will be equals. 175 aphids. And they're decreasing at 3 per month, minus 3 per month. When will the number of ladybugs and aphids in Katie's garden? Okay, so in this case, we don't even need the L and the A, right? We just need the M, right? So I could get rid of those. So now we would solve, right? And let me just solve this one, right? So we'll subtract 105 from both sides, and this would be 70, right? And then we'll add 3m to both sides, right? And that would be 5m. And then we divide by 5, and 5 goes into 70, what is that, 14 times? So m is 14. So at what time will the number of ladybugs and aphids? In 14 months, right? Okay, so let's do C. So let me make some space. So C, at the farmer's market, Laura brought 3 pounds of tomatoes. If the tomatoes are priced at $8 for 5 pounds, what did Laura pay for the tomatoes, right? So she brought 3 pounds. The tomatoes are priced at $8 for 5 pounds. So I would say that $8 is for 5 pounds. Oh, LB, right? LB. And she brought 3 pounds, right? 3 pounds. I'm going to use a proportion. And we would need to know X, right? So again, let X represent the amount of money that, she spent on tomatoes. So I would cross multiply maybe. Let's do that. So 8 times 3 has to equal 5 times x, right? So 24 equals 5x. And let's come up here. So this would be 24 fifths equals x. But this is money, right? So we should divide that. So we get x equals 4.8. So $4.80, right? For C. Okay, and make a little room for D. So D, adult tickets at the school play cost $5. Student tickets cost $3. So A is number of adult tickets, and S is number of student tickets. Okay. 30 more student tickets were sold than adult tickets. So 30 more student tickets were sold than adult tickets. So A plus 30 has to equal S, right? Because 30 more student tickets were sold. So to make them equal, you'd have to add 30 to the adult tickets. Okay. 1770 was collected. So that means that 5 times A plus 3 times S has to equal 1,770, right? There's your system of equations, right? And then we would solve. And again, if you can't solve these, we can do that in class, but if you did solve it, you would end up with, A coming out to be 210 and S coming out to be 240.